Hey, so I want to talk about thinning plants out today because I have radishes and cilantro that I need to thin out. Basically, when you plant seeds, you'll end up with like a little cluster, or in this case radishes, which really need to be thinned out, a big pile like that. Thinning out stuff sucks, and I was really hesitant to do it at first, and I harmed some of my first plants because I didn't thin them out soon enough. But you want to do it because plants need adequate spacing to grow to their full capacity and to get the kind of nutrients that they need. So you're picking and choosing which ones you want to grow and to thrive. And part of that idea is that you'd rather have one healthy plant that's getting all the nutrients that it needs from the water, from the soil, from the sun, than to have two that are weak and that are not producing. So there's a couple ways you can do this. I have just plucked for the most part, just like reached in, make sure the soil is moist, and I just pull out the ones that I don't want there anymore, and I try to give them adequate spacing. Some plants, like the radishes here, these only need 2 to 3 inches of separation. But in a small pot like that, I'm actually gonna end up getting rid of a lot of radishes. I will end up eating the microgreens in a sandwich or something. They're pretty tasty, actually. Then here, these guys, I didn't realize they're supposed to be more like a foot to 18 inches apart. So I kind of messed up on the cilantro. When I was doing these, I didn't really read everything through, so I just like dug a line here and a line here in my little salsa garden, and I just sprinkled a bunch of seeds instead of being a little bit more methodical about it. I do have shears. I'm using these for the first time today. Most gardeners recommend that you do the thinning shears as opposed to plucking them out, because if you pluck the plants out, there's a chance you could pull out roots or disturb the root systems of the other plants. I don't like the shears because I have 2 little kids running around, so I'd rather just take my chances with the plucking. So far the plucking's been good. It hasn't really hurt any of my plants. A lot of times I've been able to actually preserve one of the plants that I'm pulling out and replant it and watch it grow, which is how I've been able to give away so many plants. So it's really like a personal preference. So let me see here. So let's see, right over here. By plucking to thin them out, like I said, these babies are supposed to be like a foot apart, so I kind of messed up. So I'm just gonna pluck here, pluck here. One of the good things about doing a compost is that you can just throw these in the compost. But you see, some of them are already producing little cilantro leaves, so that's good. I feel bad that I have to pluck out so much. Now, some of these, very few of them, this one right here has a little bit of a root at the tip. I could probably try to transplant that. But yeah, this is thinning out. Like I said, they're supposed to be like a foot apart. So what I'm gonna do is just thin these out a little bit. And then, that smells good. And then I'm gonna come back around when they've grown a little bit more, and I will do even more thinning out. So pluck that one, and as they grow out, I will determine which ones I want to keep. Let's see, pull that little one out. And even in your thinning process, you might want to keep, like, say I want to keep, where is it? This one right here because it's bigger, but then also keep a smaller one so that I'm kind of staggering out the rate of growth, so that I'm not gonna have a ton of bunches of cilantro all at the same time, but I'd have one week, and then maybe the next one doesn't start producing until 1 or 2 weeks after that. So that's thinning out cilantro. Like I said, I'm gonna come back to that because they're supposed to be further apart, and I'll work on the other side after. This is just a short little segment on that. So radishes, oh boy. There's so many in here. I'm just gonna kind of get in and start pulling. I just looked up radishes again, and it's saying that if you don't thin them out, you don't have like the root of the radish will never grow into the actual radish. You'll just have a nasty looking root. Wow, this is actually kind of hard. I should have done this a while ago. So radishes, you're supposed to start thinning out at 2 to 3 inches of height. So I don't know, that's not too bad, I guess. Once again, I'm only gonna thin out some and then I'll come back to that at a later time. If I wanna use the shears, I get in here and I just go, can you see? Okay, snip. And cut that to the side, that does that. Get in there for another one. Let me see, where's another one that's close proximity here? This one's pretty close to everything. Get in there, snip it. And again, just toss these into the compost. So that's that. Just a short little video on thinning stuff out. So I will talk to y'all later. There's some cool stuff going on in the garden, but not enough yet for an update. So everybody be blessed. See you soon.